Stretching across states like North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and parts of Minnesota and Nebraska, this region is emerging as a powerhouse in organic field crop production. And today we're highlighting one of the most versatile and valuable crops in the organic rotation, organic peas. Each year, farmers in the U.S. plant over 150,000 acres of organic dry peas, with a significant portion of that acreage right here in the Plains states. These peas aren't just a niche crop. They play a critical role both in soil health and market demand. Organic peas are prized for their dual market potential. On the feed side, they're an excellent protein-rich ingredient for organic livestock and poultry rations, especially as growers seek non-soy alternatives. On the food side, they're becoming stars in plant-based proteins, gluten-free flours, snacks, and soups, meeting growing consumer demand for clean-label, sustainable foods. But peas aren't just grown for market. They're a favorite in organic crop rotations for many agronomic reasons. First, they're a legume, which means they naturally fix nitrogen in the soil, reducing soil input costs and improving fertility for the next crop. Second, they help break up weed and disease cycles, especially when following cereal grains like wheat or oats. And third, their short growing season opens up double cropping options or extended rest periods, both valuable in dryland systems. Whether you're growing for high protein feed or clean label food products, organic peas offer flexibility, soil building benefits, and market opportunities that fit right in to the regenerative mindset of the plains. Organic peas are sustainable, profitable, and rooted in the soil health movement. Stay tuned as we talk with Blake Burggraff, who's conducting pea production on his own farm in Hartford, South Dakota.
So we plant peas the first thing on the farm. We try to do everything no-till, but we're obviously up against everything by doing that. So I plant the peas no-till in March, April, depending on when we're going to see a warming trend or whatever. And we plant them with mustard. We usually drop seed the mustard, which means that we're just dropping that on top of the ground, and we're planting the peas about 1 inch deep. The drop seeding on the mustard hasn't been as good as I want it to be, so I think I'm going to start putting the mustard in furrow with the peas 1 inch deep, first thing we do in the year. And we do plant it twice, seed it one way and then 90 degrees the other way. East and west, north and south. 7.5 inch rows, 200 pounds per acre.
Okay. So one of my questions was, what have you found to be the most successful crop rotations to support organic field pea production in your system? Or are you still trying to figure that out?
Definitely still trying to figure it out. Why don't I walk over to where the peas were last year, which is just a couple steps this way. This is winter wheat now, which I thought, why not grow winter wheat after the peas, because the winter wheat can definitely use the nitrogen. And what else? Oh yeah, I wanted to get to a fall crop after the peas. And yeah, I'm just still not satisfied enough with the weed control. But like I said, this is no-till, so what you lose in weed control, you gain in flexibility of being able to be no-till. But I don't know. I still think we can pull a good enough winter wheat crop off of here. There's weeds galore. Got sweet clover coming up underneath, which is what I drop seeded this spring. So I think after peas, you definitely want to go to a winter crop, because why not? You're going to be you have so much time after peas because they come off in July. So we do a cover crop, we end up grazing pea stubble twice, once right after the combine rolls through, and then again after the cover crop grows a little bit. And then after that, you still got some time of growth before it's time to plant your fall crop in September, November. But peas they can't compete with the weeds as well, so you want to get a clean as start as possible. So these peas were after buckwheat. Buckwheat's a pretty good smothering crop the year prior. Some other peas are after sorghum sudan grass. And we've got some other peas after milo. And so those are a little bit more weed free because the Sudan grass, you cut that once or twice and you can really get better weed control on it. Phosphorus is the best nutrient that you need next to a legume because the legume uses phosphorus to make the nitrogen, is what I've been told. So keeping your phosphorus levels up, we do that with manure and more than anything, just grazing and rotation. Rotation. That's how I want to manage my organic stuff. Get as many crops in there as possible. And like you said, the pest and disease cycles, we shouldn't be growing these pulses any closer than like 3 or 4 years apart. These field peas are contracted with a food grade company, and they've been good to us, and we've been happy to work with them. We try to contract everything the year prior before the new year, and so they've been flexible with us on that. And that just takes a lot of the risk out of it, is having it contracted before you're ever really buying the seed. So, all food grade, and we clean all of our we try to clean all of our organic crops on our farm so that we can take those screenings and use them screenings for chickens or selling some chicken feed off the farm or grinding it up into hog feed or whatever. So drilling in 7.5-inch rows, John Deere 750. So the oldest style of single disc drill. I really can't say enough about doing no-till with a single disc drill from John Deere. I think that's the best way to go. Yeah, we swath everything, so that works really good for us. I love swathing things for organic because you can get everything to dry down and it's going to go through the combine so much better. Most importantly, your weeds. I know that if you have green weeds in your field and you try to straight cut it on peas, you can get that green juice. So squeeze out in your combine and get on the peas and stain your peas. You can get bleaching from letting your peas stand in the field for too long. So I just can't say enough about swathing. Swath them, and you talk to your buyer or whatever, but our buyer wants, I think it's like 90% of the pods to be loose in the pod. The peas to be loose in the pod. You shake it and you can hear them. You open it up. You see that they're not attached to the pod anymore. When about 90%, I think is what he wanted, you can swath it at that point. And then obviously after that, they're going to dry down a lot better. You don't want to swath them too early or you're going to have big old ugly green and yellow peas. But when you wait to the right time, you just have the perfect result you can get with swathing. So we swath them, combine them, run them across the seed cleaner into the grain bin, and our buyer's been real good to us that we can just sell them right off the farm out of the grain bins. They come to our farm and we unload a grain bin into them, into the trucks. And that's what I like because I can run air on the peas that way, or in all of our grain that way. We like to use about the same bin for everything non-gluten in the same bin. It makes things easier, and we can run air across that bin, load out all the stuff to the buyer, and put the next crop in the bin, which after peas, it's usually hemp. Yeah, definitely do not grow them before you're organic, I would say, because in your transition to organic, you should be focusing on getting your weeds managed well. And once you're organic, now that you've had a good foundation set, then you can start growing these crops, because I don't know how you'd get enough money conventionally to grow field peas, especially in organic management. Thank you. I'd like to put a big disclaimer out there that it's only my second year, and if you're going to do organic no-till field peas, you're going to have a lot of weeds. So you're going to need to swath. You're going to need to have a management plan for them weeds after harvest. Us, that's grazing, and we can do mowing too as needed.
When considering no-till drilling into field peas or using intercropping for weed control, the most effective strategies depend on your system goals, such as weed suppression, nitrogen fixation, soil moisture conservation, and harvest efficiency. We're going to talk about some best practice strategies for each approach based on current organic and regenerative practices in the Northern Plains and the Upper Midwest. No-till drilling into field peas is ideal for cover cropping or relay cropping scenarios to preserve soil structure and reduce tillage. Some best crop strategies include winter-killed cover crops before peas. So here we plant field peas into winter-killed oats, radish, or buckwheat. These provide mulch for early season weed suppression while allowing peas to emerge cleanly. Ensure residue is not too thick to avoid hairpinning. Another strategy is standing residue. This is also referred to as relay no-till. You drill peas into terminated cereal rye in the spring, roller crimped. Rye offers excellent allopathic weed suppression and maintains moisture. But timing is critical, so wait until rye is in the antithesis or pollination before crimping. A third crop strategy is frost seeding field peas. Broadcast peas late winter into standing winter grains like rye or wheat, or overwintered cover crops. This method allows peas to establish early under residual mulch and take advantage of spring moisture. Intercropping for weed control in peas is a way to enhance competition against weeds, increase ground cover, and can improve biodiversity. The best intercrop partners are field peas plus oats and barley. This is widely used in organic farming strategy. Oats and barley act as a scaffold to suppress weeds and help peas compete. And the oats mature faster and are ready to separate if harvesting for grain. Another intercrop partner is field peas plus flax. Flax establishes quickly and competes well with weeds. It has compatible root depth and growth timing with peas. Another intercrop partner is field peas plus buckwheat. This is a short cycle crop. It's useful in systems where fast, early weed suppression is needed. The buckwheat outcompetes small-seeded weeds and attracts pollinators. Another intercrop partnership is field peas plus lentils or chickling vetch. This is also known as a pulse mix. Legume to legume mixes help spread disease risk and diversify root profiles. It provides different maturity dates and canopy structures for weed shading. Some additional tips. Use precision seeding equipment to manage different row spacings for intercrops. Apply biological inoculants like rhizobium, especially if including legumes. Monitor for disease and lodging. Dense intercrops can trap moisture and encourage pathogens. And time your weed control passes based on crop resilience, not just weed presence. According to the USDA National Agricultural Statistics Service, in South Dakota, there were 14,000 acres planted to field peas in 2023, 12,000 acres harvested, which resulted in about 12,600 tons of field peas. The average yield was 2,100 pounds per acre, which was up 350 pounds from 2022. Field peas are utilized in both human food products and livestock feed. The demand for plant-based proteins has been a significant driver of market growth. Organic field pea research in the United States is gaining momentum, driven by the need for sustainable agriculture and high-protein crops. Clemson University leads a USDA-funded initiative focused on breeding varieties tailored for organic systems, aiming to enhance both nutrition and sustainability. In the Northern Plains, North Dakota State University collaborates with seed companies and NGOs to develop organic field pea varieties suited for the region's climate, emphasizing participatory breeding and seed system development. South Dakota State University Extension provides resources on field pea cultivation, supporting organic producers with region-specific guidance. The University of Maine has conducted trials on intercropping field peas with cereals, exploring methods to suppress weeds and improve yields in organic systems. Additionally, Cornell University offers comprehensive organic production guides, including best practices for peas, integrating pest management and soil health strategies. These institutions, among others, are at the forefront of research and extension efforts, fostering innovation and supporting organic field pea production across diverse U.S. regions. This program is supported through the United States Department of Agriculture Transition to Organic Partnership Program, also known as TOPP. TOPP is a program of the USDA Organic Transition Initiative and is administered by the USDA Agricultural Marketing Service National Organic Program. The Transitional Organic Partnership Program in South Dakota is administered by the Organic Crop Improvement Association under a cooperative agreement with the South Dakota Specialty Producers Association and aims to support farmers in transitioning to organic farming.